What's up guys, it's Drac and I just got back from Florida and this is pretty interesting. But before we talk about it, I just gotta say...
I told you so.
I told you so. I told you so.
Now that we got that out of our system, let's get into it. Alright guys, so coming in at just under, this bad boy is delivering the hits, and I am so stoked to get a review out for you guys. So, this is a Walmart exclusive coming in under the Adventure Force brand. Very, very exciting because it's not only online, but also on shelves, which is big, big, big game, and we'll get to that later. Advertising 32 pieces, that's the 24 darts, plus the accessories, plus the bits and bobs, plus the blaster itself. Pretty cool. This is the Nexus Pro Ultimate Dart Blaster. And unlike Hyperbole, both from my own content in 2010 and currently the mothership itself, that might actually be correct this time. That's right, it's a blaster that actually delivers the hits and does what it says so. Honest marketing, why did we have to travel so far for it? We've got features like adjustable stocks, tactical sight, a second tactical sight, that could have been one blurb, 2 tactical sights, a safety lock which tells you that it's got some...
And more power, baby!
Because you don't put a leash on a chihuahua. Although you probably should, I've met some really mean chihuahuas. Then we get a full length and a half length mag as well as darts to go with it and an adapter that comes in the box and then something that they're calling the nozzle extension. I would have called that literally anything else, but hey, half length pro dart ammo clip adapter. Again, slight nomenclature things aside, we're advertising ranges of 125 feet, and then we have a check mark with compatible with most Adventure Force darts and most standard Nerf darts. That's really interesting that they're just straight calling out the competition. But hey, I guess you can get away with that when you're beating them in literally every category. For those of you trying to hunt this earlier using brickseek.com, all you need is that UPC at 729747618. And with the box out of the way, all we gotta do left is take a peek inside. Nah, I'm just playing. I've been playing with this thing for days.
Rise, shining Gundam!
Out of the box, you get the blaster itself, unibody and construction, no takedown pins. Whether that's a pro or a con is up to you to decide. For me personally, I got kind of tired of dangly bits on my blaster and I'm really enjoying the sleek aesthetic of this. Whether or not that's for you is for you to decide. It's a personal preference, I think, whether you want your blaster to take down or not. I've really been enjoying the overall very sturdy, very solid construction of the blaster, so I don't mind no takedown pins. You get the blaster itself, the muzzle attachment goes on, it's a pretty tight fit. You can decide if that's for you or not for you. I imagine we'll get a litany of 3D printed aftermarket accessories for this guy if it becomes as popular as I think it will be. Then the stock itself is definitely a cheaper version of the Dart Zone Pro, but the good news is it's got the circle style retention in there, which means it it holds so much weight that it actually starts creaking the plastic before it ever starts giving way. So you can definitely put a lot of weight into this guy. There are 5 different levels of articulation there, depending upon where you want it. I'm going to put it at the maximum length, which is actually just right. One thing that threw me for a loop at first was these offset rails. The pop-up, I think, is like a really weird gimmick. I'm not into the pop-up at all. However, this rail is higher than this rail. Again, 3D printed accessories I think are going to be really slick for this, and I'm really excited to design some over on nextlevelnerf.com explicitly mated to this blaster. However, they grew on me. They really grew on me. The fact that it comes with rails that are offset and kind of mesh nicely into the color and design DNA of the blaster gives you a really cool kind of aesthetic, particularly since your stock is both useful, sturdy, and the correct length. So overall, this part, well, there's also that. This Picatinny rail does not grip these the sturdiest. Now, you can lock them on like this through the back, and then you can lock this one on through the front, and it makes them much, much sturdier. I mean, overall, pretty cool. Overall, while I don't necessarily like the pop-up feature, and I think that you could honestly remove it entirely if that was your cup of tea, the iron sights or the plastic sights are really just not that bad. The muzzle, while very generic, is not that bad, and if you think of them as free includes because the blaster is only $50, it's pretty ridiculous. As far as this one goes, I haven't taken it apart yet. Throw me a like and a kind comment if you'd like me to cut this one open and show you what's inside. But in my battle testing and backyard slinging, I've figured out that this is just as dry fire safe as the Dart Zone Pro. You can dry fire it all day long, which means that it's got heavy plunger padding, which I think is pretty cool. As far as the prime itself goes, the prime itself is some sort of top bar, very similar to the Alpha Trooper, except instead of metal, I believe it's plastic. It might be reinforced. I have no idea. However, it is chunky enough that it's actually quite stiff, particularly under the stock spring load, which delivers pretty good performance as is. So I don't see or anticipate any issues with it. It's also like kind of reinforced just shape-wise, almost like U-line. It is very strong structurally. And then the barrel itself, and I know that we've all had a lot of questions about this, is, I'm just checking my math here, definitely metal, which is good. That means consistent inner diameters and a higher compatibility, not just with their darts, but also other darts. Did I mention their darts? These can only be described as two of Dart Zone's best darts hybridized. This is clearly a tip that is derivative of the bamboo dart and a body foam that's very derivative of their waffle tip darts. And the combination is strong. So strong, in fact, not only in terms of its overall like flight capabilities, but also in terms of its overall structural and glue capabilities, that it actually puts not only worker darts, but also the jet darts to shame. It is really good foam with tips that we've already proven are here to stay. So in addition to that, they're not only cheap and on shelves, but finally, you can buy them by themselves. That was the one major gripe that a lot of people, including myself, and I'm a big fan of the bamboo darts. I use them for competitive Nerf. You couldn't get the half-links by themselves. You could buy them by the case and get a really good price on them for really good darts domestically, but you couldn't buy half-links by themselves, which means that you had to do this thing where you'd go with somebody in your club that really liked full links, and you would take all their half-links or vice versa. No more. For 10 cents a dart, you can get these off the shelf, $10, 100 darts. That's traditional Adventure Force value, plus a slight markup for the fact that they are just strictly superior darts, and you can get all half-links all the time. I'm assuming that you can also buy all full links if that's more your cup of tea. But the most important thing is, it swings both ways. It delivers the hits with both full length, and it'll gravity drop those, throw in the adapter, which is included, which is really cool. And you can keep rocking and rolling with half lengths. Now, that's not to say that our new Dart Zone overlords don't play nice. Perhaps they're watching the flop that is Ultra. Perhaps they're just benevolent by nature. However, the Nexus Pro seems to play nicely with its competition. That is to say that both we can take genuine and knockoffy Nerf darts, including the brand new Elite 2.0 darts. And while it doesn't seem to like them the same way, it'll both take a generic Hasbro magazine and throw those out. And if you want to get Chinese with it, you can throw a Talon mag adapter in there, grab both, well, I guess not quite, grab a couple of knockoff darts, throw some knockoff, or cut down your own half length. And it doesn't seem to have any issue with that either. It's pretty cool all the way around. As far as I said, structurally, you're going to need to get your hands on one of these your own self. Unfortunately, the package is open to the public if you happen to see these on a Walmart shelf. The grips are pretty comfy. I wish this had a little more angle, but honestly, it's nicely beveled. I find that I miss the rubber on the DZP just a little bit, but honestly, the contouring on the stock is good, and the fact that it's really sturdy feels nice as well. This grip is nice and large. The trigger well is plenty of room, and the control system between the safety and the mag release is exactly where I personally would want it to be. The mag well isn't quite as flared, but at 50 United States dollars, you know that they had to trim some fat somewhere. The fact that the prime is smooth, the D prime is safe, the accessories are not only like useful, but also like actually look pretty good with the blaster, and it comes with 24 darts and an adapter, so you don't need to buy one. Makes this just a home run before we even put it over the chronograph. But you guys know we're gonna put it over the chronograph. Let's go. All right, guys, so it's finally time to bring this bad boy outside, put it over the chronograph, and get some hard numbers. We brought out a litany of different darts, not enough to get like real scientific data. If you're interested in a full data test, we'll do that later on. I'm interested in the accuracy of the system as well as the overall accuracy of the new Pro darts. I think that they're very nice as well. However, right now we're just trying to test it kind of all at once, and I want to be able to give you at least a couple of data points for what you could expect with ammo that you might just happen to have lying around. Now, this is, or theoretically should be, compatible with just about everything. The combination of breech style pusher and metal barrel is pretty solid, pretty time tested. It goes in every burn style platform and the Dart Zone Pro. So I think that this guy has a lot of potential. I'm really hoping the numbers reflect that. If you guys remember, the Dart Zone Pro gave us like a 20 FPS bump over our expectation, which was really, really solid. I imagine that just because this is a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller, it's probably going to shoot a little softer. That said, I do just want to point out it's nice in a world where the majority of people are right-hand users that safe is on this side and your right hand in safety position is right where you want it to be to engage this for fire. Now, the first thing that I think that we need to put over is the new black and orange Dart Zone Pro darts, or the Adventure Force Pro darts. I don't know how we're going to differentiate them. This seems like a really good opportunity for me to name them. I would want to call them like jackets or wasps, something that reflects my Georgia Tech education. Because they remind me very much of a specific style of Hornet. That said, I think that that's what we need to test first, particularly the half lengths, because I think that's the most exciting, compelling part of this system. So let's put those over the chronograph, get you guys some numbers. We've also brought out Worker Gen 3s, Dart Zone Pro darts, or bamboo darts, full length and half length, as well as some just generic elite darts, and some of the new jet darts, which are not my favorite for accuracy, but let's go ahead and throw a few over this chronograph and see what we get. So 149. Boys, it's a blaster that you can buy at Walmart that costs $50, that costs less than Nerf blasters, that literally hits over twice as hard. It's twice the blaster for half the price. All right. 145. 111, so nobody's perfect. 149 again. 139. 146. Duplicate 146. 150. Hey, we actually hit 150. That's pretty good. 134. And 143. So you're definitely not taking this bad boy to end war, but maybe. I have 3 of the full-length darts left after a litany of different battling and testing with this, so we can put 3 of those over and see what the full lengths do. That's cross-compatible with every N-Strike style magazine. 138, they're just as hot. 128, maybe a little less, and then 138 again. So I think it's pretty safe to say that those are going to be serious, pretty competitive FPS performances as well. These are just more Pro darts. We're going to save those for a minute down the line. Let's go ahead and let's put these in reverse order. So we'll have 4 Worker Gen 3 shots at the bottom. We'll have 4 jet shots underneath, or on top of those. Never mind, it'll only be 3. And then we'll have 3 DZP half lengths on top of that. You guys got that, right? We're going to do Dart Zone Pro halves into jet into Worker Gen 3s. So 3 of these bad boys, 147, 144, 145. So that seems pretty on par with the results that we were getting from the Adventure Force Pro darts. Here's our jet darts. Yikes, 106, 111, 83. So interestingly enough, although those are not ideal results and definitely not designed to play nice with one another, it's still better than elite performance by a long shot. And then these are Worker Gen 3s, which I feel like are similar to the new Adventure Force Pro Darts. Let's see how hot they fly. 130, 87, 114, 113. Well, dang, there's your end war solution right there, probably. Would need more data points to be sure. Overall, I can't get over it. I'm trying to contain my excitement. I've already heard people on the internet start talking about how they think that this changes everything. I don't want to echo some of the bombastic nature of this. In my hype video, when I thought that I solved this puzzle, and I'm so thrilled we got it right, I think that what this does for the hobby is pretty incredible. The ability for a kid to be competitive with 60 bucks at his local Walmart is really, really going to do amazing things for our space, for our sport, for our events. Like, this is sure, I will echo it. Like, this is a game changer. So we've just loaded up 3 elite darts with 3 DZP full lengths or bamboos on top. Let's put the bamboos over first. 143, 142, 140, not bad. Now elite darts, 137, 142, 145. Honestly, not bad. Not bad. Now, I think that that's partially because elite darts have narrower tips than their bodies. I think that if you threw some AccuFakes in there, you'd be a little less than thrilled by the results. And I'm sure that if you guys are interested, leave me a comment. Tell me what to do with this thing. Like, I know that these are starting to pop up at Walmart, and I'm going to put a link down in the description box below where you can seek one out yourself if you're interested. But in the meantime, I want everybody to have as much information on these as they possibly can, because I just think this is really, really exciting that one of the largest, not only retailers, but economies in the world is like making a product that's very affordable, very entry level, very easy to get kids into foam flinging at a high level. Let's go ahead and put some down range. Let's see what our war practicality for this thing is. I know for a fact that the Dart Zone Pro has already like captured the hearts of many. So I feel like it should be war practical, just because it's clear that it's like the Dart Zone Pro's little brother, right? If Big Bro can rock it at APOC, then Little Bro can surely sling at the SCNC. That's our usual tree. It's about 80 feet away. We have 15 of these bad boys in the magazine. Let's just see how many are on target. Well, we nailed it on our first shot. All right, so I'm pretty confident. That's 5 or 6 shots in a row. I missed 2, I think, of my tree shots at 80 feet. It is not the hardest flinging blaster of all time. Our homemades still dwarf this in terms of their performance, but they also require way more maintenance. You have to build them yourself or pay somebody to build them. They are highly customizable, and I think that in time this will have some options for it. In fact, again, like over on nextlevelnerf.com, I can already think of some customs that I want to build for this platform just because I really, really, really dig it. I can already start dreaming up paint jobs for it. I'm just so excited this exists. I've been doing this for over a decade. It's hard to explain how much this would have meant to me back in the quad shot days that like this exists. It means that it's way, way, way easier to get your buddy to come nerfing with you. It means that it's way easier to like get into your first competitive event. It is really, really cool. So I highly recommend if you're interested, and I'm hopeful that I can make some stuff happen with Walmart and that I can get some links for you if you want to buy these online. I have no idea like what the timeline for that looks like. I know that the street date for these, the release date in Walmart system is August 1st. So it's really cool that they're showing up just a little bit early. But I'm very, very excited about this. I hope that you guys are too. Definitely check it out. Like this one, I've started doing like, you've got hard passes, maybe pick it up on sale, and then this is like our first guaranteed must-have. Gotta check it out. This thing is just really, really awesome. So with all that said, that's the review. You've got some numbers, you've got some opinions. I'm sure that there's gonna be a lot of these rolling out over the next couple of weeks. I wanna do some comparison videos. Much love, Nerf on. Wait a second. I gotta talk to you guys. All right, guys, so I've got 2 points that this blaster brings to light that I think a platform of my size, someone that runs events like End War, I have a responsibility to just do a quick blurb. A lot of you are incredibly wonderful Nerfers and longtime veterans in the hobby, and this is gonna sound redundant to use. So forgive the ad nauseum, but 2 things. 1, this blaster hits pretty hard and it's shooting half-length darts. That's really serious, that's really cool, that's amazing for competitive Nerf, but it also only costs $50. Which means that this is going to bring a ton of new people into our hobby, into our space. It's going to get them invested in not only like our digital ecosystems, which is I think the more important part of this conversation, but also our physical events, our wars, our gatherings, etc. I'm going to echo the same thing that I've said every year at End War, which is this will be a lot of people's entry into the hobby. It will be very important that they have a good experience so that they become Nerfers and grow with the hobby, with us, and become an important part of the tapestry of our space. Be kind to new players. There are no dumb questions. Everybody should know how Google works. It takes like 2 seconds to point them in the direction of answers that they're looking for. Send them to good companies in our space, like Foam Blast Shop, like Out of Darts, like Containment Crew, Silver Fox Industries, etc., so far and so forth. Like, guide them gently into the next step. Make sure that their experience with this hobby is as amazing as your experience in this hobby. Introduce them to some of your favorite content creators. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Point them towards some of our data sources, guys like Tom Foam Data Services. Like, show them what makes our hobby so amazing, so different from things like airsoft and paintball, how welcoming and kind we can be. I think that it's important to kind of be the arbiters of that experience and make sure that a lot of the new people who are going to enter because of this have a great experience. And then the second thing, and this one's way easier, is probably encourage some eye protection. I'm going to go ahead and throw some links in the description box down below to incredibly cheap eye protection and incredibly nice, lasts you a lifetime, does multiple sports eye protection. I myself have different levels. A good pair of prescription sunglasses will serve you just fine at these FPSs. However, I do just want to point out that eye protection at this FPS that this product delivers is a no-brainer. It's very important to me. It's very important to every event that I run. I think that you should be encouraging and honestly like insisting that your opponents and yourself set a good example with eye protection. Also, iProd is cheap. Like the links that I'm showing you should be like 99 cents a pair. But that is the Nexus Pro. Be kind to the new Nerfers that it delivers into our space. Make sure that everybody's having a safe, fun time with this. And Drac out.